Welcome to the world united. Welcome to the world united.
We are going to have the panel discussion on spirituality, arts, and culture. Many people think that arts are not part of spirituality. They belong to something called as entertainment. Dance your way to inner awakening. It is very difficult to understand this. Sing your way to inner awakening. It is very difficult to understand this for many people. Just by way of singing, by way of dancing, by way of making poems, by way of being a part of pottery, sculpture, one can become spiritual. In the olden days, in the Socratean period of Socrates, the sciences were divided into two, trivium and quadrivium, wherein music, arithmetic, geography, rhetoric were major sciences. Even in ancient India, the arts were divided into 64 categories. He who has to become master of life has to pass through these 64 categories of arts. All the Upanishads, Vedas, the older universities of Takshila and Nalanda have taught us the 64 arts. So how do you actually connect the arts like painting? Even Chinese have got calligraphy, Taoist calligraphy. Just by way of making circles, one can go internalized. One can become spiritual. So Sean, here is a question for you. How arts can be used for inner awakening? How important the arts are? How can we break this myth and misconception in the public mind that arts are different and spiritual awakening is different?
I think you said it beautifully just now. If we understand what you just said, that will make all the difference. If we can share that idea that the arts in ancient history were used for spiritual awakening, for full fulfillment and full productivity, to find peace, if we're able to share that, I mean, even in Japan, the samurai warriors had to study etiquette and dance and music and poetry. It was part of their training to be a fulfilled human being. And it wasn't just fighting, right? And so to be a true, fully fulfilled human being. So I mean, honestly, if we can share that, and I think more and more we're expanding into that realm, because the idea that that all of nature and God is art, and it's all connected. If we can understand that, I mean, similar to what and I just lost her name. Who was it that just spoke? What is her name? Does anyone have it? Who just the video, the final video? What's her name?
Carly Fish.
Oh, Carly Fish. Yes, I loved how she connected the external world to the internal world and said how it affects us, and how, I mean, that's how God created us. That's our existence and how it affects us. And if we can understand that and spread that word more and more, that's, I think people will accept it. And but it is, as you said, the entertainment industry, and bringing it down to actually, it's, to be honest with you, we're going backwards. We're dumbing down the mind to only be able to stay focused for 2 to 3 minutes at a time with our entertainment industry, versus using the arts to expand and be able to be more and control from the inside to the external world.
Erika, please go ahead.
I actually feel like that's actually part of the reason why traditional schools have slowly started to squash music and art, or throw them into one class rather than, like, when I was a student in school, they were separate classes, and now I'm learning that today children are getting art and music from the same teacher. And
We're cutting it all together.
Right. And the thing is that when we remove that, it actually, it doesn't help children, because it is a form of expression that is deeply needed, because they're not allowed to express themselves in other ways. It's just sit down and sit still and don't do anything. And it's only through the prolonged focus of the creation process that we can tap into the focus that's needed to get the things done that we need to do to propel us into the next place of where we need to be. And it's only through focused intent and long-term focused of, and not going back into the monkey mind of the loop that wants to keep you separate. And it's understanding that we are not separate. And it's actually through this whole, I actually have a theory on the idea that what's happened right now is actually to bring unity consciousness into the forefront. And the people that have been pushing the separation scenario for so long know that. And that's why they're fighting so hard to keep us separated at a time when unity is, there is literally not one person on this planet who has not been affected by what's happening. Not one. If that doesn't bring unity consciousness in, I don't know what does. So how can we transform what's happening to bring us closer together instead of pushing us apart over arguing over things that are bought and paid for to perpetuate a narrative that clearly is the dying way? We have to let that old system fall apart and die, because it's only through the death and the rebirth we understand that our consciousness and the placebo and the power of healing through expression, that it's through that transmutation of the pain that it can become something beautiful. I transform all my pain and all of that into something beautiful so that I could show people that we really are more connected to nature than we think. And even last week, I was reminded by one of my farmers who said that it's the apple that has a scar on it that's actually got more nutrition in it, because it needed more energy to heal itself, to become whole. It's through eating things that are full of life that we can sustain our life differently, versus eating something out of a box or staying inside the box or only consuming what comes out of the box. It's all tied in. And when we go into the mystical realm, that's where we understand that we have the power to tap into so much more. And it's through this, and it's through our hands, and it's through our voices that we can create anything, with the power of our minds and our intention and our focus, and doing it with other people. And we have to do that together. Everybody thinks that the only way that we get here is by giving everything up for everyone else. And that's not, I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah. Yes, Sarika. Thank you very much. So herewith we have got our magnificent grandmother, Parisha. So here, grandmother, we are having the subject spirituality, arts and culture. Discussion is going on with our wonderful panelists, SHAUN Parry, Jacqueline Ripstein, and Erica Montgomery. The two other speakers, Manuel Rufino and Laurel Frisch, they have sent their talks. So on the discussion, three of the people are here. I was just asking them how we can actually integrate spirituality and arts. Spirituality is, if meditation is an art, spirituality should be called as science. Meditation is never a science, but an art basically, because it is an art, because it is connected more with the heart, more with the feelings. So meditation is the art of going within, the art of letting go. There is nothing like science of letting go. It is only art of letting go, how we can delete our memory, unnecessary memories, how we can come out of the self-sabotaging karmic patterns. So it's an art, how we can be at our center, at our core, completely at the meridian, not having opinionated, not judgmental, without any mental propensities or inclinations whatsoever. So to stay at one's center, to be at one's meridian is always an art. So over to grandmother. I was just trying to connect the art and spirituality from the best of the discussions possible from the three panelists here. I request you to join the panel, please. Unmute, please, grandmother.
Better? You could hear me? This is fantastic.
Yes, please.
Okay. Erica, you were powerful. I don't think that I could have wrote that script for you and you could have delivered it as well. There's nothing there that I would take issue or question. Okay. And the more we return to nature and the more we understand that the energy we put in our body is what we become, then they would get rid of their boxes. We would not eat stuff that's got preservatives and other things in it. And if you come to visit me in my beautiful sanctuary, I have about every fruit tree that the planet can actually house. And I have berries that for lunch, we would walk around and pick it off the vine in the tree. And because I live in Arizona, I have food supply all year long. And it's really important that children understand that now, because we are actually helping them keep their natural gifts and their natural tendencies if we feed them the right food and actually teach them meditation and some of the inward activities that we need to help them bring that out. You know, in my tradition, we are not the parents of our children. They belong to Creator. We are the stewards of those children. And it's up to us then to do everything we can to give them everything they need to find that beautiful individualness that they are. Because each one of us is a word and sent forth from the Creator. And so
That's right.
I loved listening to everything you shared. And actually, it was just really enticing to hear your point of view and everything. You stay strong. And we definitely, that voice out there, big and powerful.
I'm in Arizona. I would love to come and do this with you. And I have seeds. We need to meet.
Okay.
This is no accident.
No, I don't believe in consequence, and I never ever believe in accidents. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, and as Shaun, it's like I listened to you quite a bit yesterday, and I don't think I quite heard your message, but I would like to actually say, what did you see in our world parliament that drew you to us? And not only are you sharing and speaking, but you actually served as moderator. In all that you're doing and you're seeing, what empowers you to actually stand so strong with us and give so much of your beautiful lifetime? I believe that we share what we do with life, and that life is only that we exchange time for experience. And no matter what we do in that experience, there's no need for forgiveness. We just need to learn. And so at this point, I'm so happy to see you on here. And can you give me a little bit of idea of why you're here? What's all this excitement? Look at you. You just bubble. I talk to you and your face just opens up and you bubble. And what do you feel about what we're doing? Do you think Dr. Yugandhar and I are on the right track? Are we going to make this?
You know,
John?
I don't know if you can see close enough. There are tears coming out of my eyes. This is beautiful. And thank you. This is, over the past couple of decades, I've seen a tidal wave of humanitarian effort in the world. I've seen people awakening by the thousands, and I see the need by millions around the globe, specifically, I mean, obviously in the first world where we need it because we're so stressed, but in the third world where we need to raise, and in my speech, I spoke about the connection between raising the cognitive level in our minds by experiential learning, and how that connects with enlightenment, and how you can't go to a level of enlightenment and understanding without having developed the prefrontal cortex of the brain, which the arts does miraculously. And so that's become my life passion. And as I connected in 2012, and saw that this vision, the possibility of reaching out to millions of people and lifting the consciousness of humanity, whether it be through science or art or architecture or raising families or whatever we're doing, each of us are a drop. And I'm one drop, and I get to offer my drop. And that's all I have. But if all the drops are offered together, we become a tidal wave.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I mean, you've carried that out beautifully and everything I've observed with you. And again, as Erica said, I don't believe anything is a consequence or even that. I believe we're constantly being woven and being guided and maybe being put into a part of something. And so you being with us has been extraordinary, young man. Thank you so very much. Your very presence, Sean, if you didn't even open your mouth, your very presence is illuminating. So thank you. Thank you. And
Mother.
stay tight, hang tight with us. We need you. We need you. Okay, very much. We need you. So it's like, okay, we have a couple of other people here. I'm trying to find you, Jacqueline.
Well, Jacqueline was the other presenter in this session, and we haven't heard from her yet in the panel. So I'm excited to hear her speak. She's got so much wisdom.
Okay. So
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here with everybody, sharing from our souls and connecting through the arts. I've always been an activist for peace and art, because who creates? The soul creates. The soul, the art is the connector between the soul and the physical world. We are coming from a right brain, from a connection to the spirit, using us as a tool to help inspire. Inspire meaning to, as I inspire, I have the breath of God within me. As I inspire, I am inspired and I am creating. Being a co-creator with God, we all have that ability to tap into a new world, a world of peace, a world of consciousness, a world of awakening, and a world of unity. And with gratitude, I'm here with all of you.
Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. Beautiful. All right. Then we have someone else over here. I see a handsome Scott. Oh, it's Scott. Okay, Scott and Marla. Did you want to add something to our conversation? Is there something? What I guess the question is based on is what do you
Hi, my beautiful brothers and sisters, just holding space for you and listening, and just the light and love these last few days. We've just been, it's why we're here. It's to bring the awareness to all of our brothers and sisters in this world, that beautiful I am presence. It's the I, it's the awareness. And yes, Jacqueline, you said it so eloquently that we have to remember I am that I am, and that your breath, your words, the connection to source, whether we say God, creator, universe, source, Allah, Buddha, Yahweh, whatever that is to any individual, that we are all a part of this collective whole, this beautiful consciousness, and we have to make sure we awaken every one of these beautiful souls in a time that is so needed, that they understand why we're here. It is every gift, every lesson, every tool that we've been given to share with another brother and sister in a time that is so needed. It is why we are all here. And it's to unify, because we all know there is no black, white, pink, yellow, brown. There is no Christian, Jewish, Buddhist, Muslim. Our souls are the same. We are one. We just forgot. And it's time to start living this life with intention and being our authentic selves and speaking our words, as you said, Jacqueline, our truth, our love. This whole world is built on love. And we have to just finally allow others to see that versus what we've all been programmed to think from the external world our whole lives and for generations. It is just a time that our children grow up living a life of intention to lead and live a meaningful and purposeful life, to eradicate all the negativity and chaos in the world that has been created. And this is why we say it is about the children, the grandchildren, the great-great-grandchildren.
Yes.
They chose to come back in this lifetime to do the work, and we're doing it with love and with happiness and joy and peace, because that has to start from within us all, so we can have the peace in our family and our community, in our country, and then in this world, and then throughout the universe. And we're all doing it collectively. It's not about Marla and I or this beautiful family that Dr. Yugandhar and you have all put together. It is about us collectively. And we have to enjoy the journey and live it to the fullest, because we're not promised tomorrow. And we can't change our past. So stop going back and blaming or coming from those feelings in the past. We just have to be grateful every second. And thank you for allowing me to speak and share. I was just holding space for all of you. I'm so grateful. Are these cheeks rosy red right now?
Yeah.
That's coming from all of you.
Thank you so much. So very, very much. Everyone has shared the same message. I mean, we're all saying the same thing, aren't we? We're just adding a different flavor. And the inclusiveness. I don't so much feel that the oneness is where we're at yet, but I do know the inclusiveness that needs to happen is happening, and it's happening everywhere. And it's what all of you shared. And like I said, Erica, your particular message too, is that we are part of that. And Dr. Yugandhar is like a catalyst, and he's attracting all of this together. So when he asked me to partner and join him with this particular event and taking it forward, I mean, I wholeheartedly jump into the opportunity there, because I was planning, just starting yesterday, to do a whole 2-year, 5-year plan myself. So like you said, there's no coincidence, right? I had not talked to him for months, if not maybe a year. And all of a sudden he says, grandmother, can you help me? And it's like, so you're doing the same thing. You got that invitation. And our beautiful, beautiful people who are behind the scenes, you see one beautiful face with our monitor, but there is a ton of people that are back there that does not need to stand out front or be in the light of the show. They want to make sure it goes well. Without them, would never make it. I feel that is just another example of life, how there are the unseen, let's call it, the unseen, that's really at the heart of what's happening. And we're all in touch with that. Every one of you are emanating that. Every bit of what we are, you're walking, in my terms, it would be you're walking your talk. There are those people who would come forward and pretentiously speak about things. Then there are those people who live what they talk about, and you see the power and the genuineness of that in their very face, their eyes, and their being. And you are walking your talk. We will get stronger as we pick it up, but you showed up here and you made yourself very, very available to help us. Our gratefulness is unmeasurable. We will continue to be so appreciative of you. And we ask you to please stay with us, because we have a long journey ahead of us in 2021. And we hope that you will definitely continue to feed your beautiful love and heart in the efforts that we make going forward, okay? And may you all be blessed. All be blessed.
Grandmother, may I do a blessing for all of you? Is that okay if I, just a second? Is that all right if I may do a blessing for everyone? I'm just going to have everyone close their eyes just for a moment and take a deep cleansing breath in. First and foremost, may all of our brothers and sisters around the world receive a blessing of health, and courage and kindness and gratitude and light and love and everything each and every one of you needs in your lives right now to fill up your beautiful hearts and souls with unconditional love, which will allow you to fully heal, which will allow you to help so many more brothers and sisters heal, which will unify all mankind and bring us back together as one. So we should all see heaven on earth as it is here now, and see your true purpose in life and be your authentic selves.
And so it
Very,
is.
very good. Thank you very much. Okay, I
Who?
think now I'll turn it back over to our moderator and pick your beautiful smile and move us forward. You all have to acknowledge your beautiful young lady here who does this. I love it that I go on her particular track. I love it. Look at the light coming off of that being. And she is one of the many I speak of that sometimes is the unseen, but without you, you have nothing. Bless you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Session.